Namo Namaha. Shodayam. Sarvebhya Shubhodayam. Today is the last day of the series of lectures on Veda Samskaramu. And today I think we will learn about wedding Samskaramu in detail. We thought of taking an online test, but I think the teaching material is so much. Today it may not be possible during this time. But what I do is that since when the topic is hot, we should take a test. I will post that link in the chat box. You take 20 minutes, answer it. From the time I post it, around 20 minutes you will take, and then the timing and everything is written there in the response sheet. So that is no problem. Let us now start with Prarthana. I think we will unmute Satyavati. She will do.
First, Vande Mataram. And Babu garu Vande Mataram start cheseste, then I will.
Yeah. First, let us start with Vande Mataram, and then we will do Prarthana. I request Sisi Babu garu to sing Vande Mataram for all of us.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujala Sufala Malaya Jasitala Tasya Syamala Mataram, Vande Mataram, Suprajyosna Pulakitayaminim Pullakusumita Drumadalasobhinim Suhasini Sumadhurabhashinim Sukhadam Varadam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram.
Dhanyavadaha, Sisi Babu Mahodaya. Today we will have Satyavati Mahodaya to do Prarthana.
Namaskar Mahoday. Namaskar Mahoday. Suklam Varadharam Vishnum Shasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Jayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Sankaram Loka Sankaram. Sri Gayatri Devi Sanatani, Sri Gayatri Devi Sanatani, Sevaka Jana Sutreyodaini, Sri Gayatri Devi Sanatani, సేవక జన సుశ్రేయోదాయిని శ్రీ గాయత్రి వాగధిపతి సురేంద్ర పూజితే వాగధిపతి సురేంద్ర పూజితే వరదాయని పంచవదనే సువాసిని వరదాయకి పంచవదనే సువాసిని శ్రీ గాయత్రి దేవి సనాతని సేవక జన సుశ్రేయోదాయిని శ్రీ గాయత్రి రాగద్వేషరహితాంతరంగలితే రత్నఖచిత మణిహార మండితే రాగద్వేషరహితాంతరంగలితే రత్నఖచిత మణిహార మండితే రసమయ సంగీతమోదితే రసమయ సంగీతమోదితే రాఘవాదిరసరక్షణచారితే రాఘవాదిరసరక్షణచారితే శ్రీ గాయత్రి దేవి సనాతని సేవక జన సుశ్రేయోదాయిని శ్రీ గాయత్రి నమస్కారం మహోదయ
ధన్యవాదः సత్యవతి మహోదయే. Now let us start with the session on
ఓం శ్రీ మహాగణాధిపతయే నమః. ఓం శ్రీ పార్వతీ రాజరాజేశ్వరాభ్యాం నమః. ఓం శ్రీ మేధా దక్షిణామూర్తయే నమః. ఓం శ్రీ మహాసరస్వత్యై నమః. ఓం శివాయ గురవే నమః. ఓం నమః శివాయై చ నమః శివాయ. ఓం నమః శివాయ. Now today we are discussing about and knowing about Vivaha Samskara, the 15th Samskara of Shodasa Samskaras. And yesterday just we have started and today we will be knowing it thoroughly. Actually, what is meant by Vivaha? Why do we call girl and boy as Vathu and Vara at the time of marriage? How is the marriage samskara to be performed? In what manner the priest and the parents do samskara to Vara and Vathu with the chanting of mantras? What is the meaning of those mantras? How the marriage bond is created between them? What all works we have to do for marriage and in the marriage? All these points we have to know, and then later on we'll try to elaborate all the points if possible. Otherwise, only the important events I will take and explain, try to explain the meaning of the mantras and the inner meaning of those events of the marriage. They say, Kanya varayate rupam, mata vittam pita srutam, bandhavaha kulamichanti, mrishtannam itare janaha. Now, the events of marriage in the sequence are, first the parents should take the sankalpa to do the marriage to the boy and the girl. Kanya Varana is the second point, searching for a bride and bridegroom. Now, third point is keeping sumuhurtas for Nishchaya Tambulas and Vivaha, and to get the Lagna Patrika written by Daivagnya. Now, fourth point is both the parties to sit together in the presence of Madhyavartis and discuss about the procedure of the marriage. Then fifth point is after the marriage is fixed, then whitewashing the house, decorating the house with flowers, muggulu we say and all. Sixth is to take Nishchaya Tambulas. Then points just I'll tell without numbers. To worship Vinayaka and to do Mudupu, we say Mudupu Kattuta. Then to start the works of marriage, to bring turmeric and kunkuma to the house first. Printing of wedding cards. The works to be done immediately are inviting gods to come to the marriage, giving them the wedding card, worshipping them. To start inviting relatives and friends. To do Mangala Snanas and to make the girl and boy ready for marriage. That is Peliguduku Peliguturu Cheyudam. So that. Then Pasupu Danchadamu we say, that is grinding these turmeric roots. Then 13th point is on the marriage day to do Mangala Snana and to do as bride and bridegroom, to arrange for vididi for the bridegroom's party. Then Yedurkolu, arriving of the guests, and then Edurkolu we conduct, that is very auspicious incident. Then after that, when all of them come inside, then arranging the breakfast. Now the priest should start the events with Vinayaka Puja by both the parents of Vadhu and Vara. Then 18th point is Raksha Bandhana. Then Nandi Devata Puja. Then Samavartana or Snatakotsava. Snataka, this is the Snataka, the third one which we told yesterday before doing this marriage. Then Kashi Yatra, Kanya Varana, then Sadasya, to read Lagnapatrika and inviting for marriage mutually, both priests do it. Then 24th point is priest makes the parties of both parties, parents of both the parties, and makes them do Vinayaka Puja separately. Then the 25th point is a priest gives Gauri mantra to Vadhu and make her worship Gauri Mata, that is Gauri Puja. Now 26th is Gotra Pravara Patana. 27th Uttara Jenchas and Patu to be given to Vara. Then Vara Puja, Madhuparka, Kanyadana, Lagnastaka Patana. Then Terasella we say, the Addutera we say. Then 32nd point is Sumuhurta, Churnika we say. Then Vadhuvara Samikshanam, Yuga Chidrapisheka, Madhuparka Vastras and coming with Jyotis. Then 36th point Mangala Sutra Dharana. Next Yotra Dharana, Akshata Ropana, Kalambrala Veduka we say. Pushpamala Dharana, then Karpura Chandana Malas they wear. Then Brahmamudi. Next Raksha Bandhana, Padi Grahana, Pradhana Homas, Saptapadi, Sannikallurai stone, then Lajala Homa, Nagavalli, Dhruva Nakshatra Darshana, Arundhati Nakshatra Darshana, Arghya Pradhana, Stali Paka, Sadasyam, Veda Patanam, Mahadasir Vachanam. Then Sesha Homa. Then Palahara Pallalu we say, bride's side people give to bridegrooms side. Then Alakapanpu. Next Nakabali, Kotnalu we say. Marriage feast, Pelli Pojanalu. Then Bujam Pantulu are playing with flower ball, bride and bridegroom. Next Parvati Parameswara Sallapa. Next Bomma Pagintalu we say. Number 60, Dampati Tambulaha. 61, Apagintalu. 62, Nadikattu, Kandapilaka, Chalimidi, etc. All these are called as. Then next 63 points, Sara Pradhanam, to give Sara. Drishtidosha Parihara Kriya also to the bride and bridegroom. Next, bride entering into Vara's Vididi Gruha. Gruha Pravesha along with husband to enter into the house of Vara. Satyanarayana Vrata to be performed by bride and bridegroom. Then Bhojanas. Then 3 days sleep at the house of Vara, bridegroom, and then 3 days sleep at bride's house. Now 70 point is Garbhadhana Samskara at that night. 71, to give Vodibiyam and send Vadhu to her in-laws house. 72, 16 days festival. 73, Vadhu and Vara start to lead happy married life along with Vara's parents at their residence. Here ends the marriage samskara and Grihasthashrama Dharma Palana starts now. By just listening to these 73 events, all of us, we can guess and we know what is to be taught here in this connection and what are to be done. So all of us and you all are aware of all this procedure of marriage. So only the inner meanings and essence of important events and mantras of marriage will be marriage. I will try to explain here. I think you have understood all the points. So now Vivaha Samskara, we will start only knowing the meaning. Actually, what is the meaning of the word Vivaha? That we should know first. The word Vivaha is formed from the root Vaha Prapane with the Upasarga Vi. Vahayati Prapayati iti Vivaha. Vi means Visesha. Vaha means to bear. So Vivaha is that which makes to obtain wife for maintaining the duties of Grihasthasrama Dharma, household duties. According to the Shastra, there are 8 methods of marriage. Among them, which method is to be followed by whom is well explained in the Shastra itself. So the marriage should occur in the befitting manner. Manusmriti says these 8 methods of marriages in this verse. Brahmo daivas tathaivarshaha prajapatyes tatha suraha tatha asuraha paishacho rakshasascheva gandharvascha ashtamo vithaha. The 8 varieties, all these are. Now among these 8 varieties, normally we all do Brahmi Vivaha. In Brahmi Vivaha, the decorated bride will be offered to a virtuous bridegroom with water. By this Kanyadana, Kanyadatas 10 generations prior to him and 10 generations later to him, including himself, 21 taras we say. 21 generations will be crossed, that is, they get liberation. The Upanayana Samskara and Vivaha Samskara, they both should be performed according to Shastra sincerely, with sincere belief and Shraddha in them. If they are not conducted properly according to Shastra, then the aim with which we do will not get them. So it is lost to our Sanaatana Dharma. A house, the society or the nation will get enriched depending upon the character of women. If women are virtuous and possess the good traits spoken in Shastras and have the correct way of thinking and possess the qualities which, that is the virtues which women should naturally possess, then that family, that society and that nation will walk on the progressive path. Women should naturally possess these qualities: modesty, bashfulness, endurance, loving nature, capacity to do the household work, then smiling face, purity in thought, delicacy in behavior, regard for mother-in-law and father-in-law and all elders, regard, love and devotion for husband, Shraddha in the honor of family, Kutumba Gaurava, respect for all the well-being of husband first, and then all other members, having Stritva, Satitva and Matrutva. If the wife is virtuous, she can mold everybody in the family as virtuous and noble. But if women are wicked, cruel, selfish, then, and suppose they do not care for others, and then that family, suppose they do not have respect for the husband also, and suppose they are egoistic and having such qualities, then there will not be peace and happiness in the family, for the husband, for society and the nation also. Arjuna said the same in Bhagavad Gita, Stri Shtas Varshita Jayate Varna Sankaraha. Kindly all of you mute your audios, please. Some sound is coming. Therefore, the girls need to be brought up with the knowledge since their childhood that they are girls, Adapillalu. So they have to go to their mother-in-law's family. That is their real house. So they should love and honor all the members there befitting to them and become one with them. And marriages should be performed when girls are of the age of 12 to 15 or 16 years age, so that they will develop attachment with in-laws family and all the members and behave very properly and consider them as their family members. And then she mingles with them and becomes one with them. Shastra tells that the bride should be selected carefully because Kubharyaya Jeevitam Nashtam. If an arrogant and selfish, egoistic girl comes as a daughter-in-law, the relations will be damaged and the happiness will not be there. So we should carefully take the step here. Just as they search for a bride, virtuous girl, similarly, the bride's parents also should search for a very virtuous good bridegroom also, who is very honest, loving nature, educated, then having the earning capacity, having orthodox feelings, who respects parents, elders, and who has love for his wife. Apastamba Gruhya Sutra says, Suhrada Samavetan Mantravato Varan Prahinuyat. The marriage is a very auspicious event. If mother and father both are virtuous, celebrated marriage properly as per Shastra, then their children would be virtuous and have regard and concern about parents. And Sanatana Dharma. In Mimamsa Tantravartika, it is said like this. Anyatra avinayam kurvan pitruphyam varyate sutaha. Tayoreva avinitasya ko bhavid vinivarakaha. If our children misbehave with others, we take care of them and call them to behave properly. But if they misbehave with us, the parents, then who will ward off them? So our children to be virtuous and morally well, parents need to be virtuous with good conduct. Then their Santana also would born virtuously. So for children to be righteous, their place of production must be righteous, must be reformed with Vedic mantras, and good bond must be created with pramanas and vagdanas, that is taking a sort of oath, vow. It is said no matter how hard we try, marriages will be decided as a result of our deeds and debt. Runanubandha rupena pasupatni sutalayaha. That is why we have to make sure that our deeds are cultured. Stritva is there in streets, women, automatically, naturally. After the marriage, Satitva and Patnitva come to them. After marriage, a girl becomes Dharma Patni to her husband and later becomes a mother to her children. The man gets Bhartrutva after marriage when they become Dampati and gain Matrutva and Pitrutva by becoming mother and father. They give happiness to Pitru Devatas by doing Pitru Karyas, karmas. They please gods by performing Srauta Smarta karmas and Yajna Yagadi karmas. So gods will be pleased by this couple. Therefore, one should search for a girl born in a noble family, having noble thoughts, and who cooperates in all Nitya Naimittika Srauta Smarta karmas to be done by the husband. So when the husband performs, she should cooperate, and she also should come forward and do whatever righteous religious works she wants to do, either vratas or something. The husband must cooperate and accept. Bridegroom's parents wish only one thing and expect from their daughter-in-law that she should mix with all of them wholeheartedly, happily, live with their own, that is like their own daughter, behave with them with regard, love and concern, behave obediently with elders, keep up the prestige of the family, enhance the respect of the family among relatives, and lead very happy married life with her husband and children. So, and to be by the side of mother-in-law as her daughter, that is important. Then automatically mother-in-law loves and treats her daughter-in-law as daughter and more than daughter, and completely hands over the responsibility of the house and all other members to the daughter-in-law, to her. This is how they should behave. This was the custom in olden days till a few years back. The mother and father, that is mother-in-law and father-in-law, automatically love their daughter-in-law as they love their sons, because they know that this girl is the cause of peace and happiness of their lives, their family. And then she will keep up the lineage also. So she also should have the same sort of feelings with all these people of the in-laws house. Then the family, society and nation, they would be very happy and they flourish. Shastra says, Agre Kulam Pariksheta. In Apastamba Gruhya Sutras, in many slokas, Maharshi explained how to select a girl as bride. What sort of girl should be selected and what sort of girl should not be selected. Still he says, Bandhushila Lakshana Sampannam Arogam Upayacheta. The girl, if born in an orthodox family with good health and noble thoughts, that girl should be selected as bride. Similarly, Maharshi also spoke about how to select a bridegroom. Bandhushila Lakshana Sampannaha Srutavan Arogavan iti Vara Sampat. The bridegroom should be born in an orthodox family with good health, having noble thoughts, and is well educated, having Shastra Jnana. Such a person should be selected as Vara. Nacha Gunahinaya Karhichit. Never the girl should be given to a person with vices or a person who is not virtuous. Apastamba Gruhya Sutras are saying so. Yasyam manas chakshusho nibandhanta tasyaha mritim negnetaradat adriyata iti eke. By seeing which girl the eyes and mind of bridegroom get satisfied, she can be selected as bride. If her family history matches to that of bridegroom's kula, gotra, etc. If do not match, they should not be considered. Even if all other points are matching and liked by elders, yet if the bridegroom's eyes and mind are not satisfied, that match should not be considered. Similarly, vice versa with the bride also. One should not get married relationship with Sagotra, Sapindas and Sapravara, Samana Pravara people. They are considered as brothers and sisters. So all these points are told in Yajnavalkya Smruti, Manusmruti, and so many other Smruti Granthas. Manusmruti says, Avipluta Brahmacharyo Lakshanyam Striyam Udvahet. And also it is said, Aruginim Bhratrumatim Kanyam Asamanarsha Gotrajam Ananya Purvikam Kantam Asapindam Yaviyasim. Shastra says the girl should have brothers also, because if only girls are born, then at the time of their marriage, while doing Kanyadana, Kanyadata says with Vara, Asyam yo putraha jayate same putro bhavet. The son born to her may become my son. In other tradition, marriage is not just, that is in our tradition, in our Sanaatana Dharma, marriage is not just that process which unites man and woman, but it is the union of two families, union of two dynasties, two generations and dynasties. Once get united, this couple should together achieve dharma, artha and kama, and together should strive for achieving moksha purushartha. At the time of marriage, bridegroom says, Brahma Praja Sampatyartham Striyam Udvahe. I am accepting her as my wife for the sake of getting the most glorious Aishwarya, the Santana, through righteous manner. A person has to marry virtuous woman, because when his mother and father leave the body and go away, she has to lit the light, support him in doing the last rites, Aurthvadaihika karmas. A man should do Agni Karya every day with the fire he worships on Upanayana day. Now with the fire he acquires at the time of marriage, he has to do Shrartha karmas. A person becomes qualified to do Agni Upasana only when he performs Pradhana Pravesha Homa, Stalipaka, Agni Upasana, Vivaha Diksha, Diksha Visarjana, and Sesha Homa, etc. all. So a good Vara should marry a Vardi Vathu, by which God Devendra will be pleased and blesses the couple. Because when he becomes a Gruhastha, he will perform Yajna Yagas and offers oblations. Somarasatmaka Annam he will offer to all the gods and Devendra. So they will be pleased whenever any marriage is taking place, and they bless the couple. It is said in Ekagni Kanda. Ekagni Kanda means that speaks about all the Agni Karyas. Now, Samaryama Samphago Noniniyat Sanjaspatyagum Suyamamastu Devaha. Vara desires that by the blessings of Aryama and Bhagadevata, and Agnideva. Their dampatya should be strengthened. When a worthy girl is decided to be given in marriage to a worthy boy, all the gods accept for that marriage. This is known by the mantra of Taittiriya Brahmana. Dadami Chagnir Vadati, Tatheti Vayurahatat, Hanteti Satyam Chandramaha, Adityaha Satyam Omiti, Apaha Tat Satyam Aparat. First Agnihotra accepts and says, okay, I will give this girl to this boy, Vara. For that, Vayudeva says, let that be so. Then the moon also says, yes, we should do. We should offer this girl to him. With wonder, he says. Then sun god says, this is acceptable to me. Then Varuna Deva also says, yes. Then with the consent of all these gods, the marriage would be performed and that bride will be offered to the bridegroom through Varuna from the fire god with the blessings of all the gods. This is the greatness of our Vivaha Samskara and Sanaatana Dharma. That is Kanyadana done through the gods with the pretext of Kanyadana, under the pretext of Kanyadata, the father of Vadhu making him a nimitta. If a girl baby is born, the parents become very happy and carefully nourish that baby. But actually, it is the gods who are taking care of that girl and nourishing her to grow to youth and are protecting her. Somaha adadad Gandharvaya, Gandharvaha adadad Agnaye, Rayimcha Putragumsha adat Agnihi Makhyam Atho Imam. This is there in Ekagni Kanda. When a girl baby is born, then onwards moon protects her, making her grow with his digits, kalas. That is why all small children, they look very amusing, very beautiful, and very attractive like moon. Thus, taking care of that baby, moon hands over the responsibility of her protection to Gandharva at the age of 10 or 11 in between. Then Gandharvas start taking care of her and they give her beauty and their art of singing, Sangita and Sahitya, etc., all kalas, arts, and make her prominent in them. That is why they get educated and become knowledgeable. Thus, in the childhood, man takes care of girl child, moon. In the childhood, moon god Chandrama takes the care of girl child, and the teenage Gandharvas take care of her and protect, teaching the arts to her and hands over to Agnideva at the age of in between 16 to 18. Agnideva takes care of her, giving her the chastity and power to protect her chastity and hands over her to the Vara at the time of marriage and blesses her with the power of getting Sat Santana and the capacity of providing food to all the family members with the money given to her by her husband. At the time of his Upanayana, the Brahmachari prayed Agnihotra, Suprajah Prajaya Puyasam, Suviro Viraihi, Suvarcha Varchasa, Suposha Poshaihi, etc. That is, he prayed Agnideva to give him all these in future. Now Agnideva accepted his prayer at that time. So whenever he needs whatever, that is being given by Agnihotra, so that he is giving to him. And now he gave a Kanya to him to get married. Now a commentator by name Haridatta said that the Vara praised Agnideva as Yatha Gruhasto Bhavani Tatha Suprajaya Bhuyasam. When I becomes a householder, then favor me with good progeny, good santana, Sat Santana. The foremost purpose of marriage is to get Sat Santana and to become free from Pitru Runa. Prajayai Gruhamedhinam, Kalidasa Mahakavi says. Now we should know why they are called as Vara and Vathu. Vara means Sreshta, the best. In those days, at that time, to that girl, that person was the best and befitting person to be married. So he is called as Vara. He was Sreshta for her. So the elders decided that person to be Vara for that girl. For that girl, he is the best person. Now, then why this girl is called as Vadhu? Because the Vara bears the burden of this girl after marriage. So because she is being taken care of and born by Vara, she is called as Vadhu. The Vyutpatyartha of word Vadhu is given as Uhyate Putrena iti Vadhu. She is being taken care of even by the son. Son is Atma vai Putranamasi, that is husband. So in our Sanaatana Dharma, the marriage is a samskara. It is not just a function as treated by many other religions. It is not celebrated just to live friendly both together, but it is for lifelong bondage. Many foreigners are now understanding the significance of our Sanatana Dharma Battha Vivaha and are trying to follow this method. In our Sanatana Dharma, once the wedding occurs, God Agni as the witness, the bride and bridegroom live lifelong together without getting separated. Not only that, many such people believe that their bandha exists for several births. Janma Janmala Bandhamu we say, and they live very happily and never want to get separated, not separating. They do not want to be away even for a single minute in their life. So, but nowadays, due to the bad effect and influence of foreign culture, even in our country, even in our dharma, many people are getting separated after marriage. That's really bad. That should not occur. They are taking divorce. That word itself is not at all there in our Sanatana Dharma. Taking divorce is not our culture. If the youth realize the greatness of marriage, the aim of the marriage, and the meaning of the marriage mantras, such mishap would never have been occurred and would never occur in our society. So it's very essential to know the sanctity of the marriage and the marriage, the greatness of marriage, and how even God's involved in the marriage, and also the meaning and antararthas of marriage events. Then they will not behave. They will be very properly, they will properly behave. Now we will try to know the meaning behind the events of this marriage ritual. To us Bharatiyas, Sri Ramachandra and Sita Mata are the ideal couple. Ekapatni Vrata of Sri Ramachandra and Pativratya of Sita Devi are ideal to all of us, to the whole mankind also. That is why we sing Yatra Chabala Devi Swarupa Habala Sarve Sri Rama Murdapicha Chandanam Asmin Dehe, that song. Mutually, loyalty and confidence are the foundation of the binding attachment of wife and husband. We believe marriages are made in heaven by God. Although we feel that we are doing this marriage, in fact, it is fixed by God due to the karma bandha, the fate, the runanubandha, which unites them. And here we are implementing that on earth. In our marriages, we first invite gods to come as witness and bless the couple, and next we invite our relatives and friends. So marriage takes place in front of 3 crores of gods, Kuladevatas, Ishtadevatas, Trimurtis, Trishaktis, Navagraha Devatas, Panchaphutas, sun and moon and stars, God Devendra and Devi Devatas, all Digdevatas and other gods. And our shadows also are present at the marriage as witness, and all are witness to the marriage. It is actually fire god who is the most important witness. Even the sages with their wives come to the marriage and bless the couple, and people there, they are the witness. While all are watching this couple, the Vara and Vadhu make promises. How can they trespass those Vagdanas and promises? If we have this knowledge, then how can they get divorces or get separated? Now let us try to know the scientific and spiritual greatness behind the events of our marriage. The meanings of some mantras will try to know. In the Vivaha Samskara of our Sanatana Dharma, there are certain prakriyas done with the mantras which purify with the divine power. The relationship between water and fire, Varuna Deva and Agni Deva, is special. The process of Vivaha starts with water and in the water in the Kalasha and with the flames of fire in the Vedic altar. During the wedding, in the beginning of Kratu, they start with Varuna Puja and Agni Puja. Actually, the Kratu starts with Varuna and Agni. Vathu's hands will be kept in the hands of Vara, and uninterrupted stream of water will be poured from the conch into their hands. Jalam Amritam, we say water got the power of nectar. Electricity is generated from the water. Water is the conductor of electricity. The flow of water causes electricity in the hands of both Vara and Vathu, and through their hands enters into their bodies, attracting each other and creates love in them. Pouring of water through the conch awakens the spiritual energy in them and leads them towards the sadhana for attainment of apavarga. This process is to be realized that the marital relationship is not just physical, but also creates devotion and love for God and makes the couple do their household duties properly and perfectly. In our traditional marriage festival, there is a prakriya called as Yuga Chidrabhisheka. Uttarena Yajusha Tasya Shirasi Darpenvam Nithaya Darpa Invam Nithaya. The Darpa grass would be molded round. That is called as Chuttakuduru, we say. That is called as Invam. So a round object where the pot can be kept. So this Darpa will be made into Invam so that it will, just as the Chuttakuduru makes the pot stand there firmly without being falling down. Similarly, even this Invam, which is made by this priest and the Vara, stays there at bride's head. So keeping that Invam on the head of the bride while chanting the mantra, Tasmin Uttarya Dakshinam Yuga Chidram Pratishtapya, etc. mantra, they keep a wooden log above the head and make the hole on southern side of that wooden log and pray God Indra with the mantras. Khena saha kherathaha khe yugasya shichipate apalam indraha trihi purtvi akarat surya varchasam. This is said in Ekagni Kanda. O Lord Indra, you have sprinkled water 3 times on Apala from the chariot where you are sitting and moving in the higher regime, sitting in which you are going, and then while you saw her, you made her holy and gave her the luster equal to the luster of sun god. Similarly, you please remove the defects of the body of this Vadhu and give her luster equal to sun. Thus praying the Vara keeps the gold on the hole of that wooden log and pours water which falls on the head of Vadhu. So just as it should be considered as the water left by Indra to purify and give energy and luster to this girl, Vathu. The story of Apala is said like this. Apala nama kachit kanya svitrini bapuva. Tam kanyam svetaruginim na kaschid upameye, etc. So there was a girl by name Apala. She was suffering from a disease called white spots, bulli we say. No one came forward to marry her. One day she went to a river to take bath, and there she saw a Somalata coming floating on the water. She picked up that Somalata, pierced it, squeezed it, and brought Soma Rasa, the juice of Somalata, which is very much liked by Indra and all other gods. So mentally she worshipped God Indra. She performed yajna, manasika yajna, she performed to please God Indra and offered the juice of Somalata to Indra. At that time, Indra was going somewhere, sitting in his chariot. He was very much pleased by the devotion of the Sapala and the Somalata Rasa she offered him. So sprinkled water through the hole of the wheel of chariot in which he is sitting, and cured her disease and gave luster to her body. If gods are pleased, they will favor us. Tejo vai hiranyam, ayur vai hiranyam. Gold gives luster, glory, and longevity. The water purifies the body and soul and works as amrita, nectar. With the mantras, Shivenatva Chekshusha Pashyatu, please see her with your auspicious sight, eyes, etc. They pray gods, and gods give her purity of body and mind and make her body lustrous. These Yuga Chidra Abhisheka mantras got such a power. Later, they make Vathu wear Madhuparkas with the mantra Uttaraya Yoktrena Sannahyati. They tie the waist with Yoktra, made with Dharpas, which are very holy. This is another best event, great spiritual valued event of the marriage. The bridegroom should put a knot with that Yoktra while uttering the mantra Ashasana, Saumanasam, etc., and should hold the rope of Dharpas. The meaning of this mantra is the girl who is having noble mind, desires to get children, prosperity and beauty, is desired by me as my wife and life partner. So I am tying this yokra to bring her towards me, to marry me, and to cooperate me in all rituals. So regarding this yokra bandhana, elders say that both husband and wife, both are like two bulls that pull the bullock cart in the form of samsara. So both are equal. Both should cooperate to pull that samsara bandi, we say bullock cart. This Yoktra Bandhana is the bride, that is Dharma Patni, accepting to cooperate in the Dharmika karmas done by her husband. By this Yoktra Bandhana, she accepted to behave as a Dharma Patni, following her husband in all his works. In Veda Bhashya, it is explained as Yatha Vivahe Striyaha Kanthe Mangala Sutram Lingam Tadvat. This is a sign, a sort of sign equal to that of being, that is tying Mangala Sutra in the neck, over the neck of her. That girl who is sanctified by such mantras said in Vivaha Samskara alone is worthy to be called as Dharma Patni. Patyurno Yajna Samyoge. Patni means one who got eligibility to do yajnas along with her husband. By her only Agni Siddhi occurs. When the marriage is celebrated, the husband says with his wife, Gruhan Gacha Gruhapatni Yathaso Vashini Tvam Vidathamavadasi. You come to our house as Gruhapatni and encourage to do meritorious deeds. Bring all members under your control with love and concern. Na gruham gruhamityahuhu gruhini gruhamutyate. The house is not called as a house. The housewife is called as the house, gruhini. The person who got married is called as a gruhastha, gruhastuhu. Gruhe tishtati iti gruhastha. One who resides in the house is called as gruhastha. Gruhini and gruhastha together should maintain the house. Both got equal responsibilities. At the time of marriage, both wife and husband took oaths that they will not trespass each other in dharma, artha and kama. Dharme cha arthe cha kame cha nati charami. Dharme cha arthe cha kame cha nati charitavya, nati charitavyam. Whatever they do should do with mutual consent. Another most important event in the marriage is Kanyadana. At the time of Kanyadana, while telling the Sankalpa, they pray gods first. They seek the blessings of all gods and then start the procedure. Brahma, Veda Patihi, Shiva Pasupati, Suryo Grehanam Patihi, Shikro Deva Patir, Havir Hutapatihi, Skandhascha Sena Patihi, Vishnur Yajnapatir Yama Pitrupatihi, Shakti patinam patihi. Sarve te patayah sumeru sahitah. Kurvantu vo mangalam. Such Mangalastaka slokas, 8 slokas are there, only one I gave here. Thus, in several slokas, mantras, they pray gods. Later, they do dashadanas. Tyagaina Aikena Amritatva Manasuhu. In all our rituals, danas take most important role. Those who do any Daivakarya or Shubhakarya certainly donate money and other dravyas to Brahmins and give them good food and get their blessings. Hiranya Garbha Sambhutam Savarnam Changuliyakam Sarvapradam Prayachami Prinatu Kamalapatihi. For the pleasure of Sri Mahavishnu, they donate gold. Yajna Sadhana Bhutaya Vishwasya Akaukhanashini Vishwarupa Tharo Devaha Priyata Manaya Gava. Gomata, the cow is Yajna Sadhana. Due to her only, anyone can do any yajna or abhisheka pujas, etc. The Panchagavyas we use in yajnas, they all are obtained from the cow. She is Samsara Papa Nashini, removes the sin of this world by Godana. The god of Vishwarupa is pleased. Sarvesham Asraya Devi, Varahena Samudruta, Ananta Sasya Phalada, Ata Shantim Prayachame. Ma Earth, Bhumata, is the substratum and solace to all living beings. She yields endless crops and feeds all living creatures. She is uplifted by Lord Sri Hari, Sri Mahavishnu, in the incarnation of Varaha. By donating such a pious and powerful Bhumata, Bhudana, people get tranquility and happiness. Thus, with such other sankalpas, many more slokas are there. I just gave only 3, and with Shodasa mantras, they do Shodasa danas. So with such sankalpas, rice, wheat, salt, ghee, sesame seeds, navatanyas, clothes, etc., so many objects, articles are to be donated to worthy persons. In the process of Vivaha Karyakrama, the wife and husband perform several yajnas. The power of the mantras recited at that time create holiness and protection. They pray Garhapatya Agni to bless the Vadhu with Dirkha Saumangalya, that is, longevity should be given to her husband. After the marriage, the wife always prays for the protection of her husband, Mangalya only, and safety and healthy span of life of her husband. They also bless her to get worthy children. They pray and aspire Juloka, Antariksha, then Devaloka, and all lokas. And also they pray Vayudeva, Agnideva, Ashwini Devatas to protect them and their children. In Lajala Homa, the wife and husband pray God with Veda mantras to bless them to live long with mutual love and happiness, enjoying Dampatya Sukha. Vara, the bridegroom, expresses his mind regarding how she should be with him, and she accepts to behave as he wants her to be. Similarly, the wife expresses her wish as to how her husband should behave with her, and he accepts for that. Both their wishes are as per Dharma and Shastra, Dharma Shastras. They both express their will that even they want to follow the footprints of Adarsha Dampatis, Devata Dampatis, then Rishi Dampatis, and Sri Sita Ramas, Manava Dampatis. This is the greatness of our Sanaatana Dharma. The bridegroom says, Rakhavendre yatha Sita, Vinata Kashyape yatha, Pavakecha yatha Swaha, Tatha Tvam Mayi Bhartari, Sudakshina Dilipecha, Vasudeve cha Devaki, Lopamudra yatha Agastye, Tatha Tvam Mayi Bhartari, Atrau yatha Anasuyacha, Yamadagno cha Renuka, Sri Krishna Rukmini Yadvat, Tatha Tvam Mayi Bhartari. Thus he mentions still more, so many other mantra slokas are there. I just only gave 1 or 2 for example. So more Dampatis have been worshipped there in these stotras, and they want that sort of Adarsha Dampatya, they want to get from the blessings of all those Dampatis. Then this wife also, Vadhu, she agrees for that. Next most important event is Saptapadi. Sakha Saptapada Bhava. One becomes a friend to other person if he either talks 7 words or walks 7 steps along with that person. So we should understand what sort of sublime prayers and wishes are there in Saptapadi to say that our relationship is of 7 births. The Vadhu Varas walk 7 steps. Vara wishes 7 wishes, he says. Then Vadhu accepts them. They are said through these mantras. Om Ekamishe Vishnustvanayatu. Om Dve Urje Vishnustvanayatu. Om Trini Rayastoshasya Rayasposhaya Vishnustvanayatu. Rayah Poshaya Vishnustvanayatu. Om Chetvari Mayobhavaya Vishnustvanayatu. Om Pancha Pashupyo Vishnustvanayatu. Om Shat Rutupyo Vishnustvanayatu. Om Sakhe Saptapada Bhava. Sa Mam Anuvrata Bhava. Vishnustvanayatu. The bridegroom asks bride to keep 7 steps and recites the mantras praying Sriman Narayana, Lord Vishnu, to make her those steps fulfilling his desires, all his 7 desires. Vishnu Tvam Nayatu, that is, may God Vishnu lead you to keep the steps. First step for getting power, food, Annalapa, and getting Aishwarya. Second step for physical and mental strength. Third step for getting strength to practice Panchamaha Yajnas and Nitya Naimittika Karmas. Fourth step for enjoying Saukya and wealth. Fifth step for getting Pasu Sampada, servants, etc. Sixth step for Dharma Rakshana and to serve Rutviks and Brahmins and Veda Panditas in all 6 seasons and get happiness in all 6 seasons throughout the year, throughout the life. And 7th step for safeguarding Grihasthasrama dharmas and spiritual thinking. She should put 7 steps. Bride also, while keeping each step, tells what she wants. She says, Dhanam dhanyam cha mishtanam vyanjanadyam cha yad gruhe madathinam cha kartavyam vadhu rajye pade vadet. Kutumbam rakshayishyami sadate manju phashini dukhe dhira sukhe hrusta dvitiye sa abravid vachaha patibhakti rata nityam kridishyami tvaya saha twadanyam na naram mamsye trutiyena abravid idam lalayami cha keshantam gandhamalyanulepanaihi kanchanaihi pushanaiस्तुभ्यं तुरीये सा पदे वदेत आर्ते आर्ता भविष्यामि सुख दुःख विभागिनी तवाज्ञां पालयिष्यामि पंचमे सा पदे वदेत यज्ञे होमे च दानादौ भविष्यामि त्वया सह धर्मार्थ काम कार्येषु वधूः षष्ठपदे वदेत अष्टांशे साक्षिणो देवाः मनोभाव प्रबोधिनः Vachanam na karishyami saptame sa pade vadet. She says that Dhana, Dhanya, Vyanjanas, etc. all should be under her control. Because the moment she steps in in-laws' house, she will start taking care of the health and wealth of the family and all members. She takes charge of kitchen. She cooks the items and gives all family members, feeds them. She says she will speak pleasingly. She will take care of the family. She will stand firm in hardships and pleasant at happy situations. She will walk following her husband as Pativrata. She will never think of Parapurusha other than her husband, even in dream. She will wear flowers, ornaments, sandal paste, etc. and amuses her husband. She will share sukha dukkha's with him, her husband, and obeys his commands. She will accompany him in all yajna karmas, dana karmas, dharmartha, kama karmas. And she also said, all the gods are witness of these my words. I will keep up my promises. I will not deceive you at any time in my life. All these are the votes the Vadhu takes and tells at each step of Saptapadi. That is, with both Vara and Vadhu, they are taking votes on this Saptapadi. Such is the greatness of Saptapadi. With such pious bhavas, when both of them want to lead holy life, how can they get separated by any other outcoming incidents, by divorces, or by the feelings which they get momentarily? So, those who follow this tradition, they will never get separated. That is the greatness of our Sanaatana Dharma, which is an ideal to the entire mankind. They should follow us. Because they are becoming one with such mutual promises, her gotra changes to the gotra of her husband. Because she accepted to be one among them, the in-laws family, husband and his family. So her gotra changes. This is the parakashta of Grihasthasrama Svikara and starting of Dampatya. By this, the Vivaha Bantha becomes very strong. After this Saptapadi Gamana, the bridegroom blesses the bride who bows down to him. Next, the priest shows the Dhruva Nakshatra to the bridegroom. The Vara puts his hand over the right shoulder of Vadhu and shows her the Dhruva Nakshatra and says that even our marital bond should be as strong as that of Dhruva Nakshatra, and we should exist forever like Dhruva Nakshatra. And also says like this, Om Mama Vrate Te Hridayam Dathami, Mama Chittam Anuchittam Te Astu, Mama Vacham Ekam Anajushasva, Prajapatistva Niyuktu Makhyam. Prajapati Tvam Niyuktu Makhyam. Keep your heart in my heart, keep your chitta in my chitta, make your mind my mind, and do my words. God's preceptor Bruhaspati, let Bruhaspati instigate you to please me by your thought, word, and deed. While reciting these mantras, he touches the heart of his wife. That is, all these should be in their hearts. Both the hearts and minds should become one by these mantras. Again, he should recite this mantra while seeing her face. He recites this mantra, Om Sumangaliriyam Vathurimam Sameta Pashyata Saubhagyam Asmai Datva Yathastam Viparetana. This Vathu is very auspicious, Mangala Swarupini. I may obtain all auspiciousness along with her. Then he keeps her hands, on his left thigh. He asks her to sit on his left thigh on his lap, and with love and care, he wants to say certain mantras. So immediately, happily, she comes and sits on the left thigh of her husband, sits on his lap. Then she recites these 7 sloka mantras and takes oath. After sitting on his lap, she is taking oath once again. Tirtha Vratodhyapana Yajna Danam Maya Sahatvam Yadikim na Kuryaha Vamangamayami Tada Twadiyam Jagada Vakyam Prathamam Kumari. Havya Pradanair Amaran Pitrumscha Kavya Pradanair Yedi Puja Yethaha Vamangamayami Tada Twadiyam Jagada Kanya Vachanam Dvitiyam. Kutumba Raksha Parane Yaditvam Kuryaha Pasunam Paripalanam Cha Vamangamayami Tada Twadiyam Jagada Kanya Vachanam Trutiyam. Thus she recites 7 mantras. Here I gave only 3 due to lack of time. So etc. 7 slokas she recites with very meaningful. And then while doing all righteous deeds like Tirtha, Vrata Ujjapanas or Vrata, performing Vratas and then Ujjapanas, Yajna, Dana, etc. I will come to your left side and participate along with you. While offering Havyas to gods or Kavyas to Pitru Devatas in Agnihotra, I will be at your left side. I will be on your left side and give support to you in doing the works of maintaining the family, taking care of animals, etc. Thus, several oaths, several occasions are mentioned here by her, and she said she will stand by him, give full support to him. Thus, when once promised, how can they trespass these promises? The Vara is very much pleased by her such pleasing words and says to her, Madheya chittanugatam cha chittam sada madagnya paripalanam cha pativrata dharma parayanatvam kuryat sada sarvamimam prayatnam. You always be interested in pativratya dharma. Be your mind fixed on me. Obey my feelings. Have interest in doing the actions befitting to my votes. With these words, he keeps a sindura at the papita of his wife, of her. The papita is the parting place of the hair on the forehead. That sindura should be kept by him at the time of marriage. That sindura should remain forever there for her. That is, she should then onwards, she should keep sindura at papita every day, 2 times. That would be the protection of her husband. Seeing Sindura, people recognize that she got married, and the feelings of respect arise in their minds. As a part of marriage, Vara shows Arundhati Nakshatra to Vadhu. The couple think of Arundhati, Vasishta, and bow down to them, the couple. In our tradition, every newly wedded couple should be asked to see Arundhati star and salute, because though in our Sanaatana Dharma, innumerable Pativratas are there, but even among Saptarshi Mandala, except Arundhati Mata, no other Matas are seen near the stars of their husbands. Arundhati Mata cannot bear separation of her husband even for a moment. So, though he is in the form of star, shines high in the sky, she also took the form of star and stood there near him, that is her husband. Never she leaves the company of her husband. Similarly, each Vadhu should always accompany her husband. To grasp this message, they ask the couple to see Arundhati Nakshatra. Thus, our Vaidika mantras, this marriage sacrament is endowed with such several deep inner meanings and secrets. With such samskaras and mantras, they purify all of us. In marriage, they purify with such powerful mantras that both Vara and Vadhu, but mostly they purify Vadhu. It is she who has to keep up the dynasty by getting children. And also she should keep up the happiness of the family members and prestige of family. So she will be purified more. Then many items of social security and well-being of mankind are hidden in all the samskaras given to us by our Maharshis. There are so many scientific, spiritual, and health-related inner meanings among several events of marriage. Before marriage only, the youth should know all these secrets and greatness and inner meanings of the events of marriage. So what is the marriage? They should know thoroughly even before marriage. Then only meaning will be there for this marriage bond. What sort of bondage is this? What promises they are doing? How should they lead their lives after marriage? All this should be known by youth before marriage. The most important event among Vivaha is to keep the paste of jeera and jaggery paste on the heads of bride and bridegroom. Exactly on the Subha Muhurta, the priest makes both of them to keep that paste on their heads mutually. At that time, at least for 5 minutes, the bride and bridegroom should see into their eyes mutually, their eyes, each other continuously without moving their head or eyes hither thither. When this jeera jaggery paste is kept on the Brahmaranthra sthana of Vadhu and Vara, the magnetic power flows from the eyes into the other's eyes whom they see. So they get the feeling of love and attraction arises in them, which develops later on and becomes very strong, so that they become one physically, mentally, and spiritually, and become inseparable, just as once when jeera is made into a little powder and then jaggery is mixed with that and mixed together, once jeera and jaggery are mixed together, they can never be separated. This mixture got the magnetic power. By keeping this paste on the Sahasrara chakra, the chakra gets opened, and by the touch of the sparsha of the hand of both of them, they get affection and love mutually, which enters into their bodies through Sahasrara chakra. All this process takes place even without their knowledge. That love which originated in their hearts transmits through the eyes, and they become one with that bond of love and responsibility. This is the most scientific secret behind our marriage ceremony. By keeping this jeera jaggery paste, we consider that the marriage is done. Yet they make Vara to tie the Mangala Sutra over the neck of Vadhu, which is also having very great significance. Very auspicious event this is. That is Mangala Sutra Dharana. We say tying of auspicious thread in which the forms of Navadurgas, the 9 forms of Mangala Gauri Devi, Devatas, they reside, and give Mangalya to her by giving longevity and protection to her husband. The Vara ties Mangala Sutra on the neck of Vadhu and puts 3 knots. Those 3 knots are considered as Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati. That is why after tying, after keeping the knots, he worships those knots with Pasupu, Kunkuma, Akshatas and all, Gandha and all. The Mangala Sutra got 9 lines of threads. Navatantu we say, Tomiri Pogulu we say in Telugu. Deities reside in those threads and protect the Vara and Vadhu as long as it stays on her neck. Later, both the Vara and Vadhu pour talambralu over their heads. Even that is considered as a very great entertainment event, and not only entertainment, even their spirituality is there, and well-being of the family life is also there. So there is adhyatmikata in that also, in this event. The desire for happy life on the earth also is inherent there. So by talambralu, they get the blessings of all the gods, Chandra, then Mangalagauri Devata, etc., other gods. First time when they pour those talambras over the heads, then Vara says to Vadhu, Prajame Kamaha Samrudhyatam. I wish children for us.
అమ్మ డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయ్యారు మీరు.
Sanaatana in our Sanaatana Sampradaya, marriage is called as Pani Grahanam. To hold the hand of Vadhu is considered as marriage. That is why in our tradition, women never touch the hands of Parapurushas. Even if anyone comes to the house and we have to give water to them, we keep the water glass on ground and ask them to take it. But we will not give them to their hands. So in the marriage, Vara takes the hand of Vadhu and takes her to the Vedic altar. When he holds her hand, that is considered as Pani Grahanam. Then he, holding her hand, he takes her to the Vedic altar. Athayenam uttaraya dakshine haste gruhitva Agnimapya aniya. There they do a Prathana Homa. Thus, to hold the right hand of Vadhu is Pani Grahana. Janaka Maharaja, at the time of offering Sita Mata to Sri Rama, says like this: Iyam Sita Mama Suta Sahadharmachari Tava Priticha Chainam Padramte Panim Gruhnishva Panina. By this, we know that Pani Grahana is marriage. The priests of both Vara and Vadhu recite the pravara of their gotras. At the time of Kanyadana, bride's father washes the feet of Vara, considering him to be Lakshmi Narayana Swarupa Vara, and worships with the mantras as Om Sri Lakshmi Narayana Swarupa Varaya Idam Asanam, Idam Arkyam, Idam Padyam, etc. And Namostvanantaya Sahasra Murtaye, Sahasra Padakshi Siroru Vahave, Sahasra Namne Purushaya Shaswate, Sahasra Koti Yugatharine Namaha. While offering ahutis in yajna, we say Agnaye Idam Namama, Indraya Idam Namama, etc. While doing danas also, we say similarly. But at Kanyadana, the father offers his daughter's hand to Vara, but does not say Namama, because even after marriage, she is their daughter only. At the time of Kanyadana, they say these slokas. Kanyam Kanaka Sampannam Kanaka Paranair Yutam Dasyami Vishnave Tupyam Brahmaloka Jigishaya Kanye Mamagratu Puyaha Kanye me Devi Parshvayo Kanye me Sarvato Puyaha Twaddanan Moksham Apnuyam Vishwamphara Sarvaputa Sarvaputaha Sakshini Sakshinyaha Sarvadevataha Imam Kanyam Pradasyami Pitrunam Taranayavai Kanyam Salankrutam Sadhvim Sushilaya Sudhimate Prayatoham Prayachami Dharma Kamartha Siddhaye. By doing Kanyadana, he gets moksha. They want to do Kanyadana with the desire of acquiring Brahmaloka. Also, they say Dasha Purvesham, Dasha Aparesham. Total 21 generations would get salvation. That is the greatness of Kanyadana. After the marriage is over, the priest ties the uttari of Vara and the pallu of the sari of Vadhu, and he puts a knot to both of them. That is called as Brahma Mudi. So the knot of Brahmadeva. Tato Vadhuvara Chelam Chalayoh Suvarna Pala Sahitam Uttarena Anuvakena Brahma Granthim Gradhnati Yoga Kshemasya Kluptiyai. For the safety of Vadhuvaras, to make them Mithuna, to make them Santanavanta, for bringing Patnitva with the wish that both should together perform yajnas, thus with so many Subhakamanas. The priest tells mantras, Yo Vaitam Brahmano Veda, Amrutena Vritam Purim. Tasmai Brahmacha Ayu Kirtim Prajam Daduhu. Brahma Granthi Muhurta Sumuhurtostu. With this mantra, the priest puts the knot. That knot remains till she enters into mother-in-law's house. Another important event in marriage is Lajala Homa. While reciting the mantras, Vadhu is asked to press the Sanikallu stone. Atishtena Atishtenam Asmanam Asmevatvam Stira Bhava. Apitishta Prutanyata Sahasva Prutanayataha. Vara and Vadhu take a decision that they are they will also should be as strong as that of this stone and stay firm, whatever incidents occur in their lives. In Lajala Homa, bride's brother also participates, and Vara gives him clothes and honors him. And Vara keeps Pelalu, the fried rice in the hands of his wife, she goes round the fire and offers them into Agnihotra, wishing the long life of her husband. Wife and husband perform homa and pray Aryama Surya Bhagavan through Agnideva. Both Vadhuvaras take hands full of water and offer Arkhya to Saptarshis and specially to Arundhati and Vasistha with mantras. Kashyapotri Bharadvajaha Vishwamitrodha Gautamaha Vasisto Jamadagnischa Saptaite Rushayasthatha Rushayah Smritaha Patni Sahita Sapta Rishibhyo Namaha Idamarkyam Samarpayami. Then Arundhati Mahadevi Vasista Priyapamini Dampatyoh Rakshanarthaya Idam Arkyam Dadamyaham Arundhati Devyai Namaha Idam Arkyam Samarpayami. With these mantras, the Vara and Vadhu, they offer this Arkhya. Stalipaka is another very important event in marriage. In Stalipaka, the Vadhu cooks rice for the first time after her marriage, and both wife and husband perform homa and offer this rice with cow ghee to the gods. This makes it clear that the Vadhu, as soon as the marriage is celebrated, started to cooperate her husband in doing Daiva Karyas and Yajnas. And first time what they did is worshipping all the gods through Agnihotra. Another important event is Nagavalli. In Nagavalli, Vara puts mattelu, silver rings to the second finger of both the feet and puts on black beads over her neck. And those black beads should be put into thread by unmarried girls. The silver rings of feet stimulate the nervous system by which her uterus will be protected. Her mind gets peace and becomes cool and pleasant, and she could control her feelings and gets dignified behavior. By wearing the chain of black beads, she will be protected from evil sight, Naradrushti. Black beads remove the defect of serpents, Sarpadosha. Black beads, black color is the favorite color of Shanaishchara. So by wearing black beads, she will not have any Shani doshas. Such is the greatness of wearing this Nallapusalu, black beads chain. In marriage celebration, they make the Vadhu and Vara play a sort of spectacle, a show called as Parvati Parameswara Sallapa or Prathananguliyaka Veduka. The priest tells Vara and Vadhu that he will drop the golden ring in a certain container full of water. Whoever takes the gold ring first, their words will win and other partner would listen to their words in lifetime. So for taking that ring, both Vara and Vadhu keep their hands in that pot. Their mutual touch of hands creates intimacy and fear decreases. Then in the Vivaha Mahotsava, sprinkling of Vasanta, handing over of Vadhu to Vara and his family members. Prior to that, Vara and Vadhu give Dampati Tambulas and Bomma Pagintalu, etc. All are celebrated like a good festival. The most important events of Vivaha Kratu are Snatakotsava for the Vara and Gauri Puja to Vadhu. The Magapellivaru, we say male marriage people celebrate Snataka and then marriage takes place. In Snatakotsava, the Vara takes permission from his parents to go to Kasi and study further. He says, Aham Kasim Gamishyami. Aham Kasim Gamishyami. Then the bride's brother comes and requests that he should marry his sister and become a Gruhastha. The Brahmachari accepts. The Vadhu will be given Gauri mantra by the priest without Bijaksharas. She worships Mangala Gauri Devi while chanting the mantra and worshipping with Kunkuma. The longevity of her husband depends upon her this Gauri Puja at the time of marriage and Gauri mantra japa. As the last event of marriage, the bride will be handed over to her husband and all the members of his family with the mantra Ashtavarsha Bhavet Kanya Putravat Palikamaya Idanim Tava Dasyami Dattam Snehena Palaya. The mother of Vadhu keeps rice, green gram and a root of called Kanda, a Kanda Pilaka, in the upper garment of Vadhu and puts a knot and ties it to the waist of the Vadhu while sending her to her in-laws' house. Rice is for peace of mind, green grams for coolness, And this Kandapilaka indicates that her dynasty should develop well, just as this one Kandapilaka gives birth to innumerable such sprouts. Behind all the events of Vivaha Samskara, there are several significant scientific reasons and well-beings of all human beings. Vivaha is a kratu, a yajna, a pious activity. In fact, all people are aware of the procedure of marriage and all the events, but only antararthas of the events and meanings of mantras should be known. There are still more, but because of lack of time, as far as possible, I try to explain all the most major incidents. So now the Vivaha Samskara, we can stop here. And 16th Samskara is Antyeshti Samskara. The last rites and last Samskara out of Shodasa Samskaras. Antya means at the end, that is the last. And Ishti means Yaga or Kratu. Antyeshti Samskara is the last rites performed by the elder son along with his wife, along with all younger brothers and their wives, to his mother and father when they leave their bodies and go away. This is the last rites done to Jiva on this earth. Jatasyahi dhruvo mrityuh, dhruvan janma mritasya. One who is born has to die, and those who die have to take birth till they attain moksha. Every person or everything being, every living being also has to take birth according to their karma phala. For whom this Antyeshti Samskara is done properly according to Shastra, their dynasty grows well and all the people of the family live happily. All auspiciousness occurs to their Santana, and this Jiva also, without any difficulty, goes where he has to go according to his karma phala. For whom this Antyeshti Samskara is not done properly, for them it becomes very difficult to go to Uttamalokas. The 60,000 sons of Sagara Chakravarti could not go to Uttamalokas because they were burnt to ashes by the anger of Kapila Maharshi. And later, when Bhagiratha brought heavenly Ganges to earth, and then Ganga Mata flew over the ashes, then they could go to heaven. It is the duty of the son to perform last rites, Aurthvadaihika karmas, every year to celebrate Shraddha karma on that tithi, and to do Pinda Pradana in Gaya, if possible to do Pinda Pradana at Brahma Kapala near Alakananda river and Badari at Badarinath. More important than these karmas is to listen to the words of parents and to do whatever they say. This is the more and most important. By doing these three works, a son is called as a son, Putra. Putra becomes worthy of the name Putra. Putnama narka trayata iti putraha, they say. The three duties to be performed by a Putra are given in a sloka. Jivato vakya karanat, pratyabdihi bhuri bhojanat, gayayam pindadanena, triphihi putrasya putrata. The seed sprouts, becomes a plant, it grows, branches, branches also come to the tree, it becomes a very big tree. For so many years, it gives fruits, roots, flowers, leaves, etc., gives shadow to others. But in due course of time, the leaves become grey, slowly the leaves fall down, the branches stem, and the whole tree also slowly vanishes, dries away and falls down at one day. So this is normal to all living beings. Even this is the way how all living beings. So there are Shadbhava Vikaras. Asti Jayate Varthate Viparinamate Apakshiyate Vinashyati. It is inevitable. We should try to live full span of life as told in Vedas, doing righteous deeds, our Kartavya Karmas, without having interest for the fruits, and also offering the fruits to Paramatma. We should always be ever ready to leave this body and go away when the call comes from God. Rabindranath Tagore said, when death comes and knocks at my door, I will set my guest with the vessel full of my life. having spent the whole life with Satyanishta and Dharmanishta and Dharmacharana, doing Kartavya karmas, worshipping Agnihotra, a sadhaka at the end of his life praise sun god and fire god. Please remember my deeds. O God Agnideva, please lead me to Uttama Lokas. When I leave this body, you please carry me safely through Uttama Margas, Uttarayana Marga to Uttama Lokas. This is in Isavasya Upanishad mantra. People say the greatest fear in this world is Mrityu Bhaya, which is inevitable. Why should we be afraid of? For dharmika persons, there is no death. In fact, the death is only to the upadhi and not to the atma. Ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Shiryata iti shariram. Dahyata iti deham. So it is quite natural occurrence. What we have to do is to lead the life according to Shastra here on the earth. In the olden days, they used to leave the body not with any diseases and old age, but with yoga. Yogenante tanutyajam. That would be possible by doing our duties properly, leading the dharmika life. Thus, when one leaves the body, how to purify that body and the jiva that existed in that body is well explained in Gruhya Sutras, Dharma Sutras, and Dharma Shastra Granthas. It's very well explained in Mahagaruda Purana in detail. All these details regarding who and what sort of aparakarmas have to be done, what sort of lokas are there, in which path what sort of jivas are being carried away. Here on the earth, what sort of antya karmas are to be done, in what method, in which method, in how many ways the karmas were to be performed, and by whom they have to be performed, and the procedure of karmas to be done every month on that tithi and the samvatsarika, and on every year Shraddha karmas, as long as they live with the body, that is the sons, children. All these karmas are well explained in Garuda Mahapurana. So many varieties of naraka bathas are explained, and also the paths by which pious souls, punya atmas, would be brought to naraka and thereby would be sent to divya lokas. Even that is also explained. Everyone must read Garuda Mahapurana to know about the gatis of jiva and karmas to be done, etc. When children sense that their mother or father is going to die within a short time, what sort of vratas and danas should be given and ahutis to be offered, all are well explained here in Garuda Mahapurana. After that, the body should be purified with mantras, because till that time body is the upadhi and the jiva is taking resort in that ashraya. So even that body should be purified. And the Antima Yatra starts in front of all the relatives and friends. All are aware of what is to be done on all these days and how many days the Ashocha lies, and how to give food, good food on 12th day, and to get Brahmana Sirvachana, and to do Udaka Shanti on 13th day, etc. All are explained in all the Shastras and Dharma Granthas. And also they are there in Garuda Mahapurana. So we all have to practice all of them. Garuda Purana spoke about the Mahima of Sriman Narayana and the methods to reach God Paramatma. We all should lead righteous life following all the samskaras and reach Godhood and attain divinity. Here on this life itself, we should try to get Jivan Mukti. Swasti. Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhya Subhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. I thank one and all. I thank our Veda Samskruti Samiti for giving me this opportunity. I thank very much personally Sri Atala Prabhakara Rao Garu, Sri CSR Prepu Garu, Sri Babu Garu, Lieutenant Colonel Babu Garu, and all other persons. I thank all the participants for listening with patience, and I thank all the students who are participating and answering very much. Now, if time is there and if you permit, I will ask the questions. Otherwise, it's okay. I can send in WhatsApp group also. Only for 5 minutes, if you permit, I can ask the questions and students can respond.
Let's have question answers.
Thank you. Now, first question is, what is meant by Vivaha? What is meant by Vivaha? Pellante emti. Anyone can answer, all of you, please. Okay, okay, tell. KM Rao garu, please tell.
విచిత్రమైన వాహనం. వి అంటే విచిత్రమైనది, విశేషమైన వాహనం, వివాహం.
That is only not actually.
Different journey.
మనం చమత్కారంగా చెప్పేటప్పుడు చెప్పాలి. Actually, to make an unknown man and woman become dampati by the Veda mantras as Agnideva and all other gods as witness. Ala, this is the right answer. Vivaha, Vivaha, Viseshena Vaha, to bear the burden of wife, we happily. Okay, now second question. Why do we call a girl as Vathu and a man as Vara at the time of marriage? Vara, Vathu. What are the meanings of those words? Yes.
Vara is Shrestha.
Yes, correct.
Vadhu means he bears the burden of the girl.
Good, very nice answer. Now, third question. Which couple on the earth are ideal for all of us, all human beings?
Sitarama.
Very good, correct. At the time of marriage, to which stars the Vathu and Vara bow down?
Dhruva
and Arundhati Nakshatra.
ధ్రువ and Arundhati.
Right. Stamba Gruhya Sutras. What sort of Kanya can be married? Who should not be married?
The one who leads that virtuous life.
According to Apastamba Gruhya Sutra, I said only. Of course, there are so many points here you can say, but the important point what you have to say is, if pleasing to the eyes and mind of Vara and Vathu, and if they are suitable and not Sagotra, Sapinda, Samana, Pravara, then they can marry. Now, what is Yugachidrabhisheka? Yugachidrabhisheka, a very significant and important event of marriage. Can any of you tell? Apala story I told you.
Yeah, Apala is there. Yes. Invam is kept on the bride's head.
Correct. Then over that?
Wooden log.
Wooden log. Yeah, wooden log, and they do a puja with the Panchamrita.
Okay, and then keep a golden.
Mangal Sutram.
No, golden ring.
Golden.
Sutra, but we mostly won't keep the Mangala Sutra.
Gold.
Only we keep without stones.
It is the process of putting water through the hole, through the ring,
Very
so
nice.
that it is the blessing from Lord Indra.
Correct. Now, what is the significance of Yoktra Bandhana? Yoktra Bandhana with Dharma, with Dharma grass, they prepare a sort of rope and tie to the waist of the Vathu. That is Yoktra Bandhana. What is the importance of why do they do this?
For stability.
Huh?
For stability of both the bringing togetherness.
Yes, and also the Vara is bringing her near to him to cooperate. That is, Vadhu should cooperate in all dharmika karyas, yajna yagadi karma. So for that, he is bringing her close to him. And when she accepts to be tied with that Yoktra, she is giving her acceptance to cooperate with her husband in all dharmika karmas. Now Saptapadi. Can any of you tell importance of Saptapadi only in word? Need not all 7 mantras. Saptapadi.
It's the basis of responding each other and living happily and thank and for good bonding.
Oh, correct. Good bondage. They take bonds there. Actually, he requests her to give certain, that he aspires certain wishes and she accepts for all those. So
Yes.
Saptapadi, Sakam Saptapadiyam, we say friendship or relation, even marriage, relationship bond is due to Saptapadi, the 7 steps they walk and 7 words they talk. Okay. Then what is the importance of Salipaka? She cooks there after the marriage.
That is the first time she cooks and offers to the god,
Yes,
to fire
correct.
god.
Correct. In Yajna. Yes, very nice. Then what points actually attracted all of you? You can, all of you separately, so many events are there, so many mantras are there. Which point is much liked by all of you? Any of you can tell as you like. The most important event or any mantra or sloka, their meaning, which is liked by you. You tell.
The Subha Muhurta.
Muhurta. Okay.
Putting Jeelakarna Bellam.
Very nice.
That is the Subha Muhurta.
Okay.
Jadidang hidayang mamut, dadidang hidayang tabo.
Okay.
Saptapadi.
Mangalyam tantuna nena mama jeevana hetuna.
Okay.
Kanthe badnani.
Okay. Okay. Nati Charami mantra, very nice. Okay. All ladies also should answer. Okay, all of you answered very nicely. Excellent answer. Saptapadi is correct. Very nice. I thank one and all. I thank all of you.
Okay. Any other person wants to speak? Or otherwise we will do Prarthana.
I want to thank Visalakshi ji for giving an excellent lecture on Shodasa Karmas. She has already given 16 lectures earlier, and this is a brief of that, actually, you can say. Actually, she has given very vividly, and those videos are already there in the YouTube. People can see those 16 or 18 videos also, and this also. Both they can combine and then assimilate their ideas and then take it to their heart and not to forget. And then that will be a good exercise. So I thank Visalakshi ji for giving her excellent voice, excellent knowledge to all of us. I bow down to her. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you very much.
Namaskar.
I want to thank Dr. Visalakshi. A great topic, it covered in great detail. But I think today's session needs little more elaboration. It was covered too fast because of lack of time.
Yes, yes, correct.
Because we could not really keep pace to the speed at which she was delivering. However, thank you so much. You enlightened us all the real science behind all this. Thank you, and Dhanyavada.
Thank you.
I request, all participants, the recording will be there on YouTube. So you can, at ease go through the recording again. Please find time for that. Again, you have to spend a little more time.
Subscribe.
KM Rao Garu wants to speak. I think he raised the hand.
I request all to subscribe, please. I request all to subscribe to our channel in YouTube.
Yeah, you will get automatic alerts.
Sure, we'll do that. I put my question on the chart.
What is that? Could you repeat?
I put my question on the chart. Okay, let me read it out. Is there any certified institute to explain the whole marriage process and post-marriage counseling if there are any issues? Otherwise, I see this as a signing lifetime agreement without reading the content.
Yeah, Visalakshi garu, do you know
So
anybody?
the whole process has been explained, but what controls are basically, what control, let's call it as a controls put under the Sanaatana Dharma, make sure the process has been followed. Like now, though, basically 1 hour section is over. She asked some questions.
In olden days, there should be Dharma Petam and Rishi Petams will be used to be there, and Navadvipa and Kasi Petam and Kashmir Petam, and nowadays the Shankaracharya Pithas are there. There are the people who are supposed to counsel us and sort out these things, but nobody cares nowadays. That is a problem. Actually, these Dharma Pithas honored by these great rishis are the real authority for deciding the disputes and other things. And really, in olden days, also in kings used to go and request their suggestion and support for solving any problems of the society. That is not being done now. So a Dharma Vedika is to be formed now again, and it to be re-established. That's my suggestion.
Thank you very much.
Control is, as you said, who will control and all is all supposed to be self-control.
No, that's not the thing. Make sure the agreement has been read. I'm not talking about, when I say controls, the process has been established. What controls have been put in place to follow the Sanatana Dharma marriage process?
These controls are already now covered in last 1.5 hour by Visalakshi garu. So the controls are there.
No, that is the process.
Now, if somebody
make sure the agreement has been read. Please try to understand. So my question is very clear, and he explained the answer. And now today there is no process, there is no control in place. Make sure the process is being followed, and agreement is completely read. Every mantra has been understood. Okay, so this is the word Satyam Vada. That's what you said. So you cannot diverse.
You understand? I understand what you are saying.
Yes,
in olden days, the Sanskrit language is known to everybody. So
yeah.
when slokas are being read, it is understood by the Vadhu and Vara also and others also.
Yeah.
But nowadays, Sanskrit has been removed from our language. So nobody knows what is being read at all, what is being done. And that's why the Purohits nowadays, they good Purohits, and where the Vivaha Karyakramas are done in an orderly way, they in between, they try to give the meanings of those mantras and explain them and make them understand what is the mantra, meaning of that mantra. That's what happens in traditional families nowadays. But that is lacking now, I agree.
Absolutely, sir. You are absolutely right. That is for
because of that lacking, people are not having the understanding of the real quality of the mantras and the real meaning of the mantras, and leading to all sorts of disputes between them. So that should be established, re-established. That is one of the aims of our Veda Samskruti Samiti, the fourth aim of ours. Out of 4 aims, the 4th aim is that only. So that's what we are trying to do. 3rd and 4th, both you can say. So the 3rd and 4th aims of Veda Samskruti Samiti is in that direction.
Okay, sir. Understood. Thank you.
Sir,
whatever is being done, whatever is being done now, whatever is being done, it is done only for the time being. It will be something like basically preparation course. So for the marriage, it is a preparation course. Go through the process, make sure you are certified, you understand, and follow the process forever. This is, you have made a promise, Satyam Vada, and you cannot go back. There is no way to go back.
That is a modern thinking. The modern thinking, English way, the Western way of thinking. The Western way of thinking is having a writing everything and getting and signed both the parties. This modern way of thinking. So this modern way of thinking, in that line you are thinking, you are advising us now. But in olden days, not like that. That's not required.
No, that's what exactly I mean. Basically, I'm not talking about modern agreement. I'm saying is make sure you understand the process. The whole process explained by Visalakshi for the last 1.5 hours. So the process has been understood. So go through the process. There is a checklist. There are controls in place. So checking the understanding of both the Varu and Vadhu. That's what I mean.
Can I say a word here, please?
Thank you, sir.
Ramakrishna.
Can I say something about Sir's question. Actually, now most of the couples have recognized the importance of the marriage in our Vedic context, and also based on Sanaatana Dharma. So they have Vedic Purohits who are performing the marriages, explaining the meaning of each kratu, whatever is done there, they explain and they are performing it. They come as a package and they do everything. It is happening in coastal Andhra Pradesh, even in Telangana, in some parts of Telangana, they are available. They come and do it for 3 days, full 3 days. It goes on for 3 to 5 days also. We have attended such marriages also, where everything is happening as per our olden day traditions. That's also has started, where they explain and do things. It's not just like that asking us to recite the slokas and the mantras and do whatever is there. They explain the meaning of it and they make them do it and take the promise, do the Satyam Vada, whatever they are pronounced there. It should also be shown, and the meaning should be understood, and they should do all the homam, whatever it is, they do it there. It is there nowadays.
Okay.
I'll give you those contacts if you want. I can just post those contacts.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ramakrishnan, please
So
share.
let's have BS Sharma garu. He wants to speak.
Before that, let Ramakrishna speak first.
Yeah, namaste Andy to everyone. And K.M. Rao garu adigina question chala important question, valid question. I really appreciate. దాంట్లో ఏంటంటే నాకు అర్థమైంది ఏంటంటే ఇవాళ జరుగుతున్న మ్యారేజెస్ లో చాలా టైం కన్స్ట్రెయింట్స్ వస్తాయి కాబట్టి అందరూ కూడా చాలా మంది గెస్ట్లు వస్తారు. అండ్ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీబడి రిలేటెడ్ లైక్ పేరెంట్స్ ఆఫ్ ది బ్రైడ్ అండ్ గ్రూమ్ బోత్ వాళ్ళకి కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేయడమే అవ్వట్లేదు మ్యారేజ్. సో దానివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే మీరు అన్నట్టు ఈ మంత్రాలకు సంబంధించిన అర్థాలు అవన్నీ తెలుసుకోవడం ఆ టైంలో కష్టమైపోతుంది. సో ది వన్ సొల్యూషన్ హియర్ ఈజ్ పేరెంట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ బోత్ సైడ్స్ ఆఫ్ ది బ్రైడ్ అండ్ బ్రైడ్ గ్రూమ్ వాళ్ళు ముందరే ఈ పర్టికులర్ ప్రాసెస్ ని, ఇప్పుడు విశాలాక్షి గారు చెప్పింది కూడా, డాక్యుమెంట్ చేయడానికి కూడా VSS సంకల్పిస్తోంది. సో ఇట్లాంటివి అలాంటి మెటీరియల్ అంతా ముందరే చదువుకుని వాళ్ళు ముందర ప్రిపేర్ అయ్యి వాళ్ళ కొడుకుని కానీ కూతుర్ని కానీ కూడా ప్రిపేర్ చేయడం అనేది చాలా ఉత్తమం అని నేను అనుకుంటున్నాను. ఎందుకంటే ఆ టైంలో ఎలా అయినా చాలా రష్ గానే ఉంటుంది విషయం. టైం కన్స్ట్రెయింట్స్ వలన చాలా మంది గెస్ట్ ఉంటారు. ఇట్ ఇస్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్ ఎట్ దట్ టైమ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ దీస్ మ్యాటర్స్. ఎంత ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసినా కూడా అక్కడ ప్రాసెస్ డిలే అయిపోతుంది. ఇట్ వుడ్ నాట్ బి ప్రాక్టికల్లీ ఫీజిబుల్. సో కాబట్టి ఏంటంటే ముందరే ప్రిపేర్ అవ్వాలి. అసలు చాలా టైం ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి మనకి ముందర ఆ టైంలో వీ షుడ్ గేర్ అప్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ ఎలిమెంట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ప్రాసెస్. ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ. సో ది ప్రాసెస్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ మీరు అన్నట్టు ఉంటే ముందర పేరెంట్స్ ఉండాలి ఆ ఇంట్రెస్ట్, ఆ డిజైర్, ఆ కీన్నెస్ ఉంటే అది ఆటోమేటిక్ గా డ్రైవ్ అవుతుంది. సో దట్ ఈస్ ఎ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్, అండ్ దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ ఐ ఫీల్ ఇట్ కుడ్ బి పాసిబుల్.
Yeah, that's correct. And what Lalita told was also correct, and what Ramakrishna told was correct. And nowadays, the some families are distributing the book along with the invitation. The Vivaha Kratu book they are distributing along with the invitation they give for coming to the class. Not only they know, they asking others also to know about it, who are coming to the marriage. So that distribution of the book is very good example, and some books are already there. One book is written by Ramalaudan garu, one book is written by some other gentleman, and 2-3 people have written on Vivaham. Good books are there, and we are also trying for Visalakshi ji's pravachanam, and these books will be distributed before the marriage. Now let us go to Sharma garu.
Namaskaram andi. I would like to congratulate VSS for a great efforts. భారతదేశానికి ప్రతిష్ట తెచ్చినవి 3 M's అని చెప్తారు. ఫస్ట్ M మెమరీ. ఇండియా వాట్ ఇట్ కెన్ టీచర్స్ అని మ్యాక్స్ ముల్లర్ రాసిన పుస్తకంలో నా దగ్గర ఒక 11 ఏళ్ల అబ్బాయి ఉన్నాడు, వాడు అలా పుస్తకం అంతా చదివేస్తున్నాడు, నేను చూస్తూ ఉన్నాను అని మన వేదాల గురించి అతను అప్రిసియేట్ చేస్తూ చెప్తాడు. ఇండియన్ మెమరీ, దాని గురించి మన సెషన్స్ లో వేదాల గురించి, ఉపనిషత్తుల గురించి చెప్పారు. తర్వాత మ్యాథమెటిక్స్, సెకండ్ M is our mathematics. We owe a lot to Indians who taught at mathematics. Without no scientific invention would have taken place అంటాడు మన ఐన్స్టీన్. అలాంటి మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ ని మాకు నేర్పించారు. మూడోది మ్యారేజ్ సిస్టమ్. అందరూ ఆశ్చర్యపడిపోతారు అనమాట. భారతీయుల మ్యారేజ్ సిస్టమ్, 50th మ్యారేజ్ సెలబ్రేషన్, 60th మ్యారేజ్ సెలబ్రేషన్స్ అలాంటివి, అవి మూడు కూడా క్షీణ దశలో ఉన్నాయని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. ఎన్ని డైవర్స్లు భారతదేశంలో జరుగుతున్నాయో ఇప్పుడు తెలుస్తుంది. దానికి ఇలాంటి మంత్రాల యొక్క అర్థం అది పిల్లలకి వర్క్ షాప్ లా చేసి కాబోయే పెళ్లి కూతుర్లకి పెళ్లి కొడుకులకి చేస్తే కూడా కొంత వాళ్ళలో ఉంటుంది. అది దానికోసం VSS చేస్తున్న ఎఫర్ట్స్ ని ఐ అప్రిసియేట్. ఈ విశాలక్ష్మి మేడం చెప్పిన విషయాలు ఎవరైనా పుస్తకంలో చేస్తే నేను హెల్ప్ చేస్తాను దానికి. అవి రాసి పెట్టి ఒక పుస్తకంలో మనం ఈ షోడశ సంస్కారాల గురించి చేయొచ్చు. అది చెప్దాం.
Yes, that's why we have made this course, started this course to make the people understand at the age of intermediate level. So our qualification we have put it as intermediate level. So at intermediate level, if you impart in the education to the people about these karmas and Sanaatana Dharma, etc., they will have this knowledge by the time they go for marriage. So that's why we have started at intermediate level. So next, Babu Garu.
Okay, Babu Garu.
Namaskaram Andi. My only point was that there was a question raised. What is the difference between Sanaatana Dharma and Sampradaya? Someone has given the clarification, which I felt it is not correct. I think someone, Visalakshi garu, should clarify so that the person gets the correct answer. Thank you.
Sampradaya, Sanatana Dharma.
Sanatana Dharma and Sampradaya.
సనాతన ధర్మము సంప్రదాయము అన్నారు. సంప్రదాయము అంటే అనూచానంగా పెద్దల నుంచి మనకు వస్తున్న దాన్ని, దట్ విచ్ ఈస్ కమింగ్ టు అస్ ట్రెడిషనల్లీ ఫ్రమ్ అవర్ ancestors అండ్ ఫోర్ ఫాదర్స్, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ సంప్రదాయ, సమ్యక్ ప్రదానం, దట్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ గివెన్ టు అస్ ఫ్రమ్ అవర్ ancestors and sages. So Sanatana Dharma includes Sampradaya in it. సనాతన ధర్మ ఈజ్ అవర్, మీకు సనాతన ధర్మం గురించి మనందరికీ అవగాహన ఉంది, తెలుస్తుంది కదా. సనాతన ధర్మంలో సంప్రదాయం అన్నది ఒక భాగం.
Exactly.
I just wanted this only.
Gautam ji.
Namaskar Visalakshi garu for elaborate lectures for these 5 days. The question has come that during our actual marriage or all these things, we do not understand those mantras because we do not have knowledge of Sanskrit. So I want to ask the VSS organizers that will there be any Sanskrit learning course where we will be asked to try to speak in Sanskrit properly or understand Sanskrit in a proper manner, excepting reading books, we do not independently understand. So can there be course like that we will be understanding Sanskrit? After that, pick up.
Veda Samskruti Samiti last 10 years is teaching Sanskritam, the Samskrita Bharati courses. Samskrita Bharati last 35 years is coaching Sanskritam. 35 years. Last 35 years, more than a crore of people have learned from them. And Veda Samskruti Samiti, since their inception, rather before inception of Veda Samskruti Samiti, we started teaching Sanskritam of Samskrita Bharati courses. There are 4 courses: Pravesha, Parichaya, Siksha, and Kovida. And we are regularly having online classes last 2 years. And around 200 people are learning from Veda Samskruti Samiti teachers. Myself and Visalakshi garu, and another Anjaneyal garu, and another Jayant. 3-4 people of our batch, they are conducting classes and running the courses of Samskrita Bharati. You all can join. You can join my classes. Every day between 8:30 to 10:30 Sanskrit class goes. All these 7 days, the classes are there. And the next exam is going to be in August, last Sunday. So that is course is being done. These are only thing is probably you are not aware. We are already working, and whole not only in India, not only in Hyderabad, all over India there are branches are there. And all over world, there are 18 branches are there for Samskrita Bharati, and it is very well running in America very much. Yes.
Oh, I shall get the link sometimes.
Yeah, please. I will share it in the group.
నమస్తే అండి, నా పేరు ఉమారామన్.
ఎవరు? ఉమారామన్.
ఒక ఇప్పుడు ప్రస్తుతం చాలా బాగా చెప్తున్నారు ఈ క్లాస్లన్నీ. వివాహ సంస్థ విషయం కోసం చాలా బాగా చెప్తారు. ట్రెడిషన్ ఫాలో చేస్తున్న వాళ్ళకి ఆడపిల్లలు పెళ్లి చేసుకోవడం ఇష్టపడటం లేదు. రీసెంట్లీ మా ఫ్రెండ్, మా అబ్బాయి ఉన్నాడు 30 years, వైష్ణవులు, నామం పెట్టుకుంటున్నాడని పెళ్లి కొడుకుని రిజెక్ట్ చేశారు పెళ్లి కూతురు. సో ఇలాగ చాలా సిల్లీ పాయింట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. వీటిని ఎలా సాల్వ్ చేయాలి? కొందరికి శాలరీ తక్కువని పెళ్లి చేయడం ఇష్టపడటం లేదు. సో ఇలాంటి వాటికి కామన్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి ఒక వివాహ వేదిక లాంటిది కూడా మీరు ఏర్పాటు చేస్తే బాగుంటుందని నా అభిప్రాయం.
అలాంటి కార్యక్రమం చేస్తున్న వాళ్ళు చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు. బ్రాహ్మణ సంఘాలు చేస్తున్నాయి ఆల్రెడీ, అండ్ ధన్వంతరి ఆల్సో చేస్తుంది, అండ్ బ్రాహ్మణ సంఘాలు కొన్ని చేస్తున్నాయి ఆ విషయాలు. అదే మనం మళ్ళా రిపీట్ చేస్తే సేమ్ థింగ్ ఇస్ సింపుల్. సో నా యొక్క వేద సంస్కృతి యొక్క మా గ్రూప్ యొక్క ఉద్దేశాలు ఏంటంటే జనంలో అవేర్నెస్ క్రియేట్ చేయడం. అవేర్నెస్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా మైండ్ లెవెల్. సో దానికి సంబంధించిన విషయాల్లో ఇలాంటి వెబినార్స్, సెమినార్స్, అవగాహన, మన సంస్కృతి మీద గౌరవం, మన సంస్కృతి మీద అవగాహన పెంచితే ఓవర్ a period of time people convert to this traditional thinking again. That is more important than just arranging a marriage parties and marriage these things. So we have to reconstruct the society. That reconstruction of society is one of the main aims of the Veda Samskruti.
Correct.
Okay, now I think no other questions. We have Kalatetam Chala Indi. We will have Prarthana and then Janaganamana. We will have request Satyavati Mahodaya.
Namaskaram Mahodaya. Om Tachamyo Ravruneemahe Gatum Yajnaya Gatum Yajnapataye Daivi Swastirastunaha Swastirmanushebhyaha Urthvam Jigatu Bheshajam Semno Astu Dvipade Sem Chatushpate Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Sarve Vaishnavinas Santu Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu Na Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrichorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Namaskaram Mahodaya.
Dhanyavada Satyavati Mahodaya. Now let's have Janaganamana. CC Babu garu.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्ज्वल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे